never changes. In 2135, Roger Maxson, the legendary hero and founder of the Brotherhood, passed away, but was succeeded by his son Maxon II, a great leader in his own right who did not agree with his father's openness and willingness to work with other factions, instead adopting more isolationist policies while keeping advanced tech hidden from the outside world until a future time when they could be trusted with such power. Raising their children to join the Brotherhood, they stopped accepting outsiders around 2141, though exceptions could be made. By 2150, the Western Brotherhood was at war with the Vipers cult and Raider gang, originally formed by former residents of Vault 15. Unprepared for their religious, snake-worshipping fervor, the High Elder Maxon II was killed leading his forces into battle. In response, the Brotherhood embarked upon a campaign of extermination, wiping out nearly the entire gang save for a few who fled north and east. In 2159, the deceased leader's son John Maxon succeeded as High Elder, and a few years later in 2161, established an alliance with the legendary Vault Dweller from Vault 13, helping in the heroic quest to destroy the Master and his super mutant army, attacking his base at the LA Vault and forces at the Mariposa military base. Expanding their influence further across the West, the Brotherhood made contact with the New California Republic, refusing to join the growing state, but establishing such friendly relations, the government named one of their states after the organization's founder, Roger Maxson. By the 2240s, the Brotherhood grew so comfortable and complacent, they were shocked to learn of the Enclave faction, which possessed superior technology like vertibirds. Reactivating old outposts to watch for Enclave activity, their enemy was soon defeated by the Chosen One, the heroic grandchild of the famous Vault Dweller who destroyed the Enclave base, stopped their efforts toward genocide, killed the president and stole their vertibird plans, eventually allowing other factions to build their own. Ready for further expansion, the Brotherhood sent another expedition into the east, which started by establishing the Mojave chapter under Elder Elijah and ended with the Capital Waste chapter under Senior Paladin Owen Lyons. Other possible Brotherhood chapters established throughout the years included the Montana branch under Elder Patroclus, the Chicago branch, which lost contact and formed the Midwestern chapter with more open recruitment policies, and the Texas branch, where a detachment was sent from California to battle a growing super mutant army. Over in the Capital Wasteland, Owen Lyons followed in the footsteps of Layla Romani by formulating his own personal quest to help and protect the people of the region, foregoing their declared mission to acquire technology. Disobeying direct orders from the West, the Brotherhood in California cut off communication, stopped reinforcements, and exiled them from the organization. Disagreeing with their leader's decision, some of the brothers rebelled in 2276, starting the Schism, or Brotherhood Civil War in the East. Known as the Outcasts, these rebels took Fort Independence and reorganized themselves to more effectively scavenge the wasteland for tech, confident that when they eventually rejoined the West Coast Brotherhood, their rebellion would be vindicated and Lyons exposed as the true traitor. By 2277, the Brotherhood under Owen Lyons operated out of the Citadel and went to war with the East Coast Enclave, fighting the Battle of Project Purity to secure a vital source of clean water. Allying with the hero Lone Wanderer from Vault 101, they used a giant robot called Liberty Prime to win the battle. Yet instead of selling the water to fund their operations, the Lyons Doctrine demanded they provide clean water to the wasteland free of charge. A year later, Owen Lyons passed away, with leadership falling to his highly capable and well-respected daughter Sarah Lyons. But after her death in battle later that year, the Brotherhood suffered under ineffectual leaders, diminishing their influence in the region. Meanwhile, hostilities grew on the West Coast, as both the Brotherhood and NCR continued to expand until coming into conflict over the control of advanced technologies. By the 2150s, the NCR Brotherhood War began with small skirmishes, but eventually grew into a major conflict for the region. Although the Brotherhood had better weapons, armor, and training, the NCR was far larger, with a stronger industrial base, allowing them to emerge victorious, destroying at least 6 enemy bunkers, though 4 of those 6 were destroyed by the Brotherhood themselves, preventing their capture by the NCR. Although the Lost Hills remained a highly fortified Brotherhood position, in 2276, the NCR performed Operation Sunburst, attacking the Mojave branch operating out of the Helios 1 factory, eliminating over half the chapter before they retreated to the Hidden Valley. Though the NCR won the war, it nonetheless took a massive toll on their economy, losing men, materials, and gold reserves to Brotherhood raids. This destroyed the value of gold-backed NCR dollars, forcing their government to create a fiat currency, backed only by their guarantee. Unable to trust their dollars, many switched back to the bottle cap system prevalent across the wasteland. Struggling to survive their war against the NCR, the Brotherhood started to groom young Arthur Maxson for a possible position of leadership as the last living descendant of their founder. In order to protect the boy from the growing dangers in California, he was sent to train in the Capital Wasteland as a squire for Owen Lyons, and later his daughter Sarah. After relations between East and West worsened and communication was cut off, Maxson remained loyal to the Lyons Brotherhood for the remainder of his youth, earning a powerful reputation by the age of 12 when he killed 2 raiders and saved a squad of soldiers. At 13, he earned the scar on his face by killing a Deathclaw, and at 15 defeated the Shepherd, who was raising an army of super mutants in the region. When word reached the west coast of Arthur's exploits, they were very proud and made contact to encourage his ascent as leader of the East Coast Brotherhood. Young Maxson finally cemented his status at the age of 16 when he brokered a peace agreement between the Brotherhood and Outcasts, ending the Civil War and uniting their forces. Refocusing their efforts toward the original goal of acquiring technology, they also sought to keep it away from the abuse of outsiders. He even incorporated some of the teachings imparted by the Lyons family, including a strong belief in the sanctity of human life, instructing his men to defend innocent caravans and travelers whenever possible. As the West Coast Brotherhood failed to find a strong leader and were greatly weakened by years of war, many revered Maxson as a godlike figure, likely considering him the true High Elder of their entire organization. In 2282, the Brotherhood built the Prydwen, a massive airship, allowing them to move quickly across the East Coast, so that by 2287, they expanded their influence into the Commonwealth, seeking to monitor and ultimately destroy the highly feared Institute, a shadowy, science-based faction creating human-like third-generation synths, which the Brotherhood considered an abomination and threat to the survival of their species. Engaging in the War of the Commonwealth, the Brotherhood competed with the Institute, Railroad, and Minutemen militia to control the region, even reaching out to the legendary sole survivor of Vault 111, a hero with great influence who helped determine the victors in this war. Throughout the years that followed, the Brotherhood gradually took on more religious overtones, revering their mission, technology, and the sanctity of steel, treating leaders like priests or clerics, while soldiers grew more zealous in the defense of their beliefs. By 2296, the West Coast Brotherhood was once again on the rise, able to expand more freely after the destruction of Shady Sands and decline of the NCR. The West Coast Brotherhood organized their forces to engage in missions across New California, including the search to secure a scientist, fleeing the Enclave with the secret to cold fusion, a powerful technology able to provide an infinite source of energy. Eventually, they tracked down their target to the new NCR headquarters at the Griffith Observatory, defeating enemy forces to capture the desired tech. A special thanks to all those who contribute to CivilizationEx, like Sir Jeremiah Ironside of House Comsia, Christ Walder the Crimson Shadow, Griffin Giant's Hammer, and Kurgan the Immortal. If you'd like to help the channel, be sure to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and click on the links below, or else go to patreon.com/CivilizationEx, where you can gain early access to videos, vote on future content, and watch the Patreon-only series, Heroes of Lore and Legend.